I also feel like going back to like what we can do to encourage young people to have more children is also just trying to provide that community, like be supportive. Like when children are crying at mass, be supportive of the parents, kind of like, I think that there's a lot of practical things that we can do. Do you have anything that you would add to that?
I think you just hit it, because the Holy Father says, he says, rather than being a shared value that everyone recognizes and supports, and he makes note of that it's a titanic effort, that some people think it's so titanic that it's not able to be lived. He disagrees with that. But he also says it's a shared value. And that's what we're talking about here, is that, being raised in a family structure, raised within a family community where the community is celebrating the gift of life and the beauty of family life. And again, here in Front Royal at St. John the Baptist, or if you went to Winchester at Sacred Heart and the neighboring parishes around this community, you will experience larger families. You will see them. I was just in Hanceville, Alabama, at the Blessed Sacrament Shrine of the Blessed Sacrament, and I was in Irondale, and you attend daily Mass, and you see large families. You see these pockets of communities, and that's why people are moving into those communities, because they want that kind of environment. They want to be in an environment where family life is welcomed and where children are seen as a blessing. And I think the difficulty as a person who travels a good bit, I've been on airplanes, and when children come on, you can hear the kind of people around you going, just because because guess what? Yes, the child is going to be what a child does. You try sitting a child down for 7 or 8 hours on an airplane. Yes, I don't like sitting on an airplane for 8 hours. You get unsettled. But these are children. Yeah. And and of course, I've done this myself. I remember on a flight out of Manila heading home, and a young mom comes on the plane, and very heroic. She's got her hands full with a couple of children and a baby, and she's for some reason traveling by herself. Maybe she was visiting family back in the Philippines. Well, she's trying to manage, baby carriages and luggage and backpacks and bottles. No one helps her. Yeah. So I helped her carry things on, and then I was sitting a few seats behind. And so packed plane, and so the toddler, she's trying to take care of the baby. So when we were able to stand, I walked over and I said, "Would you like me to hold the toddler for a little while? I'm only 3 seats behind you. Yeah. I'm in eye contact of you, and he's in eye contact of you. I mean, I'm more than happy to hold him and give you a chance to settle in, and get the baby taken care of." The other child was already sleeping. Yeah. So she's trying, and so she's just smiling. You don't mind? I said, "No, I don't mind." So I held the toddler for a little while, and eventually then the stewardess came out and says, "Oh, Father, I'll take care of that, take care of the child." And so what it did is it kind of, in a way, I don't want to say embarrassed, but it kind of made people say, if this man is going to do that,
what can I do? Yeah.
What can I do? And why am I not doing something? Yeah. And I think people, what I would say is, we need to recognize that we need to be of support, not critical, and help people.
And I don't know, just this is a kind of a weird thing, but the Pope Francis was talking about people not smiling, and just even just smile at families. Let them know that they're welcome, because you never know which mom is walking through the store just totally exhausted. Why is my kid acting up? And just letting her know that she's seen, and not in a you shouldn't be here, why are your children so annoying way, but just no. Good for you. Good for what you're doing.
I think both mom and dad, in airports all the time, because I travel so much, and to see these wonderful families together, and and it's to say thank you, and not from a reaction because I don't see children, which is true in times, but to thank them for being generous, and whether I see 1 or I see 3 or I see 5 or I see 6, just to say thank you. And it's amazing to see the smiles of the dad and the mom, and just, not just because I'm paying attention to the child, but just to say, thank you, for being generous. Thank you for what a beautiful gift, what a beautiful blessing. And, and that's part of the community too. And that's why the Holy Father is just making note of this. And also what I think is so beautiful is children, do evoke from us a sense of joy in life. Yeah. A child,
they're so joyful.
Exactly. And I think that we see this with our elderly. We see it with, different segments of our population. I remember in the nursing home back home, we would invite families to come periodically for special days, because many of our elderly brothers and sisters they may not have had any grandchildren living in the community or been able to see them on a regular basis. The smiles that would come from these beautiful souls just to be among children and just to be able to touch them and to hear them laugh. And nothing's more beautiful than to hear a child laugh. And the wonder of that laugh. And I think that's part of encouragement too. So we have to model. So you asked early, we have to model it. So we need our families to keep modeling family life and to model fidelity in marriage in a world that doesn't see fidelity.